truth has spoken. A king is born. Oh yeah, a king is born. Yeah. Oh yeah, ain't no one like me. I'm a legend. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend, legend. 'Cause I've been down so long that my crown is gone, is destined. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend, legend, legend. King is born.
Okay, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now. Sit back down. Then like everybody nowadays, Hollywood. Oh, it's like that now? I'ma show you how to act now. I'ma show them how to act. I'ma show you. I'ma show them how to act. Okay, now picture little Bobby, just a younger run around with his mans in his hands, feeling like a man. Run for the put it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we'll see one of the more dangerous passing offenses. The Bucs are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against the Seahawks defense that will need to be on its game. So for the call of this week's 17th matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are at a site that's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gautin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Prescott now on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And, oh, he'll be shoved to the turf that time at the 22-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's taken at around the 40. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Here we go. 319. 319. Gone.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at the juke. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Off the play fake. Chung, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Here we go. 319. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56.
On 4th down, Chung. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they respond.
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he's got room. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 30, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there, 91 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon for the Meadowlands. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. Kenneth Dixon, a first-quarter touchdown there. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
2nd down, Prescott. Looking downfield for Dent. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. On play action, Prescott. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to forcing the completion.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. To the air again, Prescott. He's got his man, Boyd. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And it gives us time to the tailback. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Off play action. Chung. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
A gain of 32 that time.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And the tight end goes in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Off the play fake. Chung. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Green, 39, green.
Off play action. Chung got some room at the 30. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a handoff here to his running back. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Second down following the run. The play clock's running down. To throw on second down. Chung, wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. And they give this time to the tailback. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And he motions the wide receiver. Looking to throw on second down. Chung And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Chung. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Slot man moves right. Now a handoff looking right. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. Time running out here on the play clock. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Lynch in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football, and then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
To throw on 2nd down, Chung. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Now they send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Let's go. Green, 30. Over.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bucs are within a 2-point conversion of tying us up.
They certainly aren't afraid to dial up the long ball, and fans dig the long ball. And they absolutely needed it, and guess what? They got it. How about that?
And now a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. Back to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he's not going to get there. The defense able to come up with a big stop, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 3 yards remaining here on second down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. A road win in the National Football League.
Picture me putting my city all over the map. They wasn't believers, I had to get even in mad. We coming up, pulling up, jumping all over your grass. So tell them I got a new girl. Tell them that I'm the bank and I want all my 50s in cash. I'm tired of living check to check. I need 20 models. Smiling in my grave, fresh to death. I've been Wu-Tang with a spectral deck. Yeah, I gotta just get off my chest. I cannot miss it, got last on my list and you next. Take it how you want it. I ain't famous like I want it, but I think I might just skirt off. Blow the speakers and turn up. Pop up. Go to church with my shirt off. Tell the Lord that I'm here now. I've been waiting for so long. I've been patient for so long. Breaking rules like there's no laws, and I did it for a long time. If you don't like me, take a ticket. There's a long line. Nice to meet me. I think the pleasure's all mine. They've been clocking me so long, I think they lost time. Ooh, you lost. What you mean? Woo! What you mean? Woo! And now I'm just a so what you mean? Woo! Hold up, whoa, what you mean? Woo! Hold up now. Don't know what you think, compare me. Adrenaline popping, the blood will be leaking and running. Yeah. I do what I do, I don't care if you like it or love it. Tell all of my I got a new girl. Wait. You tell the that I'm in the bank and I want all my money in hundreds. I'm tired of living on the edge. I want it.